Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Future Disruptor panel at the FII. It is an honor to be here today presenting amazing 5 startups aiming to redefine the norms of their respective industries. I look forward to delving into the discussion and conversation with our esteemed leaders and investors joining me today on the stage, hoping to glean insight into the transforming landscape of our industries. I want to express my thanks to His Excellency Minister Khalid Al-Falih, Lubna Al-Alayan, Dr. Mahmoud Khan, and Dr. Peter Diamandis, and Dr. Moz, who is replacing today Prince Khalid bin Al-Walid. Prince Khalid bin Al-Walid sent his regard. He got COVID last night, so he will not be able to join us today. Today's discussion is a testimony of Saudi Arabia's rapid advancement in deep tech innovation and its resilient government support. The interest from the investment community is growing, spotlighting Saudi's enormous potential to be a global hub in the deep tech sector. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is not just shaping the future, but also becoming a magnet for investment and innovation. At Beta Lab, this year we reviewed more than 130 startups from 20 different countries, including Germany, China, India, US, and South Korea. Based on impact and commerciality merits, the top 5 startups will present today. I would like to thank our partners, the Ministry of Investment, the FII Institute, KBW Ventures, and others. Our partnership aims to support these startups, believing in their potential to align with and contribute to Vision 2030 and the Kingdom aspiration to be a global leader in deep tech innovation. Thank you, and let's start with our first startup, Flashpoint, and Adam.
Thank you, Abdurrahman.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you all. There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
We shouldn't have chosen lunchtime. Lunchtime.
Biotechnology has created powerful weapons against disease, but these have not translated to cures. Because many drugs are delivered as unstructured mixtures that fail to reach the right cells at the right time. Flashpoint Therapeutics ends this gamble through a revolutionary nanotechnology platform that precisely controls drug components, structure, and timing. This technology has shown promise against debilitating cancers in humans. It has transformed ineffective drugs into highly potent treatments in models of breast, lung, skin, prostate, brain, cervical cancer, and lymphoma. Flashpoint will bring the same benefit to patients by building a pipeline of next-generation drugs for multiple cancers and other diseases. The bold Saudi 2030 vision has materialized in bringing this revolutionary approach first to Saudi Arabia. In partnership with inventor Chad Merkin, winner of this year's King Faisal Prize, and internationally renowned executive and cancer biologist Adam Margolin as CEO. The first drugs will be tested and brought to patients in the world-class hospitals in Saudi Arabia. This revolutionary nanomedicine, born from Saudi vision and leadership, will save lives around the world.
Adam, you can speak to the panel. Yes, to the panel.
Yes, okay. Imagine that you're locked in a room and there's a ticking bomb on the other side of an uncrossable chasm. So in desperation, you just throw wire cutters at it and hope that they just happen to land on the right combination of wires at exactly the right time. Biotechnology has cancer we can think of like that ticking bomb in our bodies. And biotechnology has created powerful tools. Okay. You can think of cancer as that ticking bomb in our body, and biotechnology has created powerful weapons against it, but they've not translated to cures because, like defusing a bomb, defeating cancer requires precise, coordinated interventions. But drugs today are delivered as unstructured mixtures that cannot control where they go or when they activate. Flashpoint overcomes these limitations by transforming unstructured mixtures into precise nanostructures. that precisely control the combination of components that are co-delivered into cells in optimized structure and timing of activation, and delivers these exactly into the right target cells. This overcomes the key limitations that have prevented biotechnology advancements from translating to cures, and develops a next-generation therapeutic approach that can finally bridge that chasm. As evidence of that, for a nanotechnology immunotherapy delivered to mice, we observe that 35 times more of the components are delivered into cells. We achieve 70 times more potent activation of anti-cancer immune response, and we achieve 350% increased killing of tumor cells. This all amounts to that therapies that are ineffective when delivered in their conventional form are transformed into cures. Not just for one example, but in fact for all 9 mouse tumor models that we've tested to date, the same components that are ineffective in their conventional form are transformed into highly effective immunotherapies, at times reaching up to complete cures. And this approach brings hope even to patients suffering with debilitating, life-threatening cancers. A study performed by a previous group before Flashpoint has shown that even patients with life-threatening, incurable terminal metastatic cancer was cured by nanostructure technology. From the business side,
Time is out.
From the business side, the approaches currently in this sector have given rise to multiple multi-billion-dollar companies, but these have not translated to curative therapies because they all cannot overcome this chasm of key technological limitations. Flashpoint overcomes all of these because we're developing a new, rationally designed nanotherapeutic that's unlike anything that has come before.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay.
If the panel has any questions for Adam, Your Excellency, Lubna.
Well, I will leave to the esteemed
Okay, yeah.
the technical question. I just want to vote for the mission. I think cancer obviously is, as indicated in the beginning, a ticking bomb. It's a big scare. It keeps many individuals and families awake at night worried about what is going to get them. So I think as we have people working on longevity, people working on quality of life, reducing the cost of healthcare, these kind of innovations and solutions by all means tick all of the boxes, whether you think about it at the individual, family, even at the corporate level. When I was CEO of Saudi Aramco and we looked at what are the things constraining the company, healthcare and productivity of our employees, including the incidence, the high incidence of some types of cancer, was one of the issues we discussed on the board and around the management committee table. Surgery and long-term cures are costly, so something like this gets me excited, and once again I would vote for it. When I heard about this, I talked to our Saudi FDA and they called me back. They said, thank you very much for sending them our way. We will do an accelerated clinical trial introduction into the Saudi population.
Thank you your support on this, and they will do their clinical trial in Saudi because of the help that you are
Exactly.
providing. Thank you. Lubna.
Adam, thank you. Very good presentation. I'll leave the technology part and the medical part to all the experts here. Let me ask you, who are your competitors and what gives you the edge? And also, quick question, you've done this on mice now. When are you ready to go to human? So how far are you from there? And what do you need other than money from the health sector?
Great questions. Okay. So competitors, so on the previous slide, there's two primary sectors that we can compare to, cancer immunotherapies or vaccines, and then drug delivery in general. The competitors are listed on the top. Moderna, BioNTech are some of the big ones, Alnylam and so forth in drug delivery. They're using technologies primarily based on lipid nanoparticles as well as other ones. Our technology overcomes many of the limitations that they have faced, primarily in terms of accumulation in liver, not being able to be delivered to target cells, not being able to co-deliver different combinations of therapies. So we listed the matrix up here and why we overcome many of the key limitations that they've faced. In terms of milestones, other great question that's coming up right here. So first of all, team, all-star team from across top universities across the country. Milestones, seed round led by Beta Lab gets us to our first clinical candidate being ready for clinical trials. We will have a clinical candidate ready within 1 year, and then it's depending if we can do an accelerated clinical trial in Saudi, we can do it then. And then phase 2 is a broader pipeline. We'll have multiple phase 1 and 2 clinical trials, which will be actually ahead of the competitive companies that at the time of any of their IPOs.
We need one more comment or question before we move to the next one.
So let me stay very focused, right? You've got the IP essentially to be able to take an effective molecule and target a very specific cell type. What gives you confidence? I mean, cancers are notorious for figuring out how to get around the therapy, right? And that's recurrence. How are you thinking about the right combination so that you minimize the chance of recurrence? I'm always cautious when you say cure, right? Cure over what time frame? Cancers do come back.
Yeah, so the one example that we showed was complete cure long-term to the extent that they followed the patient, no sign of recurrence. So that was one example. Of course, that doesn't happen all the time. The beauty of the platform is that we can actually target all of the escape mechanisms because we can co-deliver multiple components in the same structure. So we can deliver molecules that target the escape routes, that target the drivers initially, such that when the cancer overcomes one of them, we'll have other weapons that are co-delivered at the same time. What we're doing now and how we optimize that is exactly by testing those different combinations of components and then looking for which ones have long-term durability in the preclinical models and then doing that in clinical trials. That's what we're doing for our first candidate. That's the work over the next year, and then in 1 year we'll have an optimized multi-component construct that will be ready to target multiple of those escape mechanisms.
And
Thank you, Adam.
Are you at the seed round or the Series A round?
We just closed our seed round with Beta Lab.
Thank you, Adam. Next, Space Cargo Unlimited from Italy. Okay.
Hello, esteemed panel. Very nice to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So, space is the next frontier. Here, more than anywhere in the world, it is known as part of the Vision 2030 for the kingdom. Space Cargo Unlimited is a space startup. You're very familiar with what satellites do today, Earth observation, satellite telecommunication. We believe there's so much more ahead of us. We believe the next industrial revolution will happen in space. In fact, the space environment has been studied for about 20 years on the International Space Station, and there are a number of opportunities that are being fact-proven that can allow the space environment to create very high-value product for Earth that cannot be made on Earth or very difficultly. A few examples. Easy one, new materials. If you blend two material, the heavier one goes to the gravity down, the lighter goes up. If you do the same physical process in space, it's a much stronger blend. You can blend metallic glass and metal. Electronics, if you want a clean room, space provides this openly. Most exciting is life science. The change of state from liquid to gas to solid is extremely more structured, and you can benefit to do protein crystallization and do drug development much faster. You can also work on stem cells development as the stem cells grow much faster in space. All of this has been proven. It's a market that is quite significant with more than $10 billion of opportunity at hand. But today, most of the approach is based around, and Space Cargo has a very deep knowledge. In fact, we are the first company in the world to do a full commercial mission end-to-end on the space station. We had 3 flights, and we grow a new variety of vine plants that is more resilient to climate change, more resilient to drought, to extreme heat, and to mildew, which is a disease you can't fight very easily on Earth, thanks to space. We grew these plants, you saw on the top left of Professor Cluzet on the ISS, and we brought them back. We today have 10,000 plants. We create a new species on Earth, no need to go back to space, and we're going to put it in the market next year. Expanding to other plants, we have fruit trees coming along as a next flight. Doing 3 flights on the ISS, we realized that International Space Station, as much as all the space station that's being developed, have an amazing opportunity to do research because of humans on board, but it's also a very strong limiting factor, as astronauts require specific security, safety, and increased cost drastically, and made the space and the mission much more challenging for in-space manufacturing. That is why we're building Rev1, which is going to be the first space factory in space for Earth, with a very high versatile volume on board, fully automated, no astronaut, flying for 2 months. Aboard, we will rent our space to a pharmaceutical company, industrial company willing to manufacture in space. We will make a very industrial-focused platform to provide a reliable and affordable platform for any of these various sectors. So we fit right there. We're not building launchers. We're working with all launchers, with a lot of different hardware manufacturing company for a variety of end customers in life science, new materials, and agriculture. We are not building this from scratch. We're actually a very European company. We are based in Italy, Luxembourg, and France. We actually very much focus on being non-US, non-Chinese. We really want to be a power force for the kingdom, for Europe, for Korea, and other key stakeholders that have a strong industry. And we're leveraging Thales Alenia Space, which is a French-Italian company that has built the vehicle for the European Space Agency. And we're leveraging the expertise they developed on this first vehicle, reusing some of the existing components to make a more reliable and more affordable vehicle to fly in 26. So again, it's going to be a factory for rent with guaranteed price, guaranteed schedule, very focused on in-space manufacturing. Great management team, a lot of great space experts. Our CTO has done 20 years at Airbus Defence and Space. Jan Werner, the former head of the European Space Agency, sits on our strategic board. We have amazing leaders on the team with a lot of entrepreneurial experience. We first working with the European Space Agency and European agencies. We have about 70 million of pipeline of agency work. European Space Agency announced this summer their first contract with us, working with the French, the Italian, the German Space Agency, and other agencies in Europe. And as the market mature, we'll eventually service all the more industrial companies in the pharmaceutical, agriculture, new materials area. We planned 180 million euros of revenue by 2027, mostly again based at base service and additional services.
Thank you, Nicholas.
And that's it.
Thank you. Dr. Oz, if you have any comment.
What is the single most valuable product you'll make in the space cargo setup?
Most life science mostly, because the volume and weight of a life science manufacturing is quite small and has very strong impact, as opposed to new materials that's more demanding. Drug development today, protein crystallization is a very high demand. Drug development per se, specifically.
Malik?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what is the percentage of the material that you will repeatedly manufacture in space versus those you will fix or determine the microstructure and then do the real scale-up manufacturing on Earth? I'm not sure whether this is economical to do it at scale for any type of products in space.
So we go to very high value products. If you do, again, drug development, it's 10, 20, 50, 100 kilo payload, and they're very impactful. The plants we developed, we sent 320 vine plants. It was 50 kilos of payload. Today, we're reaching 10,000 plants made out of this development. China actually is very much on the field of agriculture, way ahead of us. They have produced 300 million tons of rice out of rice seeds made in space on their space station. So there's again, a lot of benefits in life science agriculture. You're right, Your Excellency. When it comes to new materials, it's a different game. When you produce an optical fiber named Z-bland, which is 100 times more conductive, you have maybe a big 3D printer to produce 100 meters of fiber, and you need to come back to fiber, continue the manufacturing. So that is more expensive, more challenging. But we intend to be versatile and seize all opportunity.
Thank you. Peter.
So you know I know the space world well.
You know how you inspired us, Peter.
Thank you. The question is, which launch provider are you primarily designing for? Because you can say you're using them all, but you're going to maximize from a structures point of view, from a volume point of view, from a primary. Are you baselining SpaceX right now?
No, so we decided to be a non-US, non-Chinese. So we actually have launch agreement with a variety of launchers in Europe, in India. And so we have 3 launch agreements. I mean, the base one, the most public one, is going to be a Vega C launch from Avio, from Ariane Group, which has challenges.
I understand why politically you want to do that, but economically, it's non-competitive.
Well, you'd be surprised at the price we got.
Okay.
We are very, very much, I mean, all these players know they are obviously challenged by SpaceX dominance. SpaceX is an amazing company, don't get me wrong, and they're amazingly reliable. And we are talking to SpaceX too, by the way. We have really good relationship with them. But we signed agreement that are in the vicinity of price for, we're going about 550 kilometers of altitude, 31 degrees. And I tell you, we are very, very much in the same price.
Are you a dedicated launch or are you a ride share?
So on the vehicle, it's a 3-ton vehicle. So we are a dedicated launch for most of the vehicle. We have ongoing conversation with Ariane Group on Ariane 6. Obviously, price is way out, but as a European Space Agency sponsored, we could benefit from subsidies. In that context, we would have an affordable price.
Well, there's definitely a business for down mass, which is what you're doing. Yeah.
Absolutely, thank you.
Dr. Mahmoud, you have something?
I
All
think
right,
we're out of
thank
time.
you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Azul with John Hartner.
Thank you all. Glad to be here. I'm going to start with a video as well.
We have all lived through and learned from the mistakes of overproduction. Generic one-size-fits-all products that get throttled in supply chains, only to end up in landfills. The future of manufacturing is digital. For the first time in history, we have the ability to make exactly what you need, when you need it, where you need it. 3D printing is now at a tipping point. At Azul 3D, it's using light to transform polymers into valuable, industry-ready products. With our proprietary printing technology, we're unlocking the power of materials and modernizing industries. With 3D printed prescription lenses, we can improve vision for millions worldwide, while reducing waste and digitizing the largest custom device market in the world. At Azul 3D, we're creating products for a better, more sustainable future that doesn't sacrifice performance or the bottom line. Welcome to Azul 3D.
So Adam and I did use the same video producer, just so you know. So it's exciting video. 3D printing is exciting for sure. But why is it still less than 1% of the manufacturing economy today? Well, it's hard technology. It requires a multidisciplinary approach. But really, the biggest hurdle is industries that have been using analog technologies for decades, if not centuries. For us, Azul, we're able to deliver real customer benefits that allow customers to see the ability to change from analog and move into digital technologies. DuPont, one of our leading customers and a key investor in this round, actually saw that. They're a materials company and a major player in the electronics products area. They saw their ability to transform the electric supply chain via our technology. We just did finish our Series A with $15 million. Beta Labs was a great partner in that. And that customer validation really helped, as well as having an amazing team. There's a common guy to Adam and I, Chad Merkin, who is from Northwestern. This technology came out of the nanotechnology lab there. He's had 8 other startups, so this is fantastic and another way for us to continue to grow. 3D printing is really about applications, applications that can scale. There's been a few in the industry. For example, GE on the aerospace side makes better aerospace engines now, and they invested more than $1 billion to bring that technology in-house. On the healthcare side, on the hearing aid space, this was an analog industry for decades. Once 3D printing was figured out, 95% of the market is 3D printed today. The largest 3D printing market in the world, people don't realize this, are clear aligners. Invisalign's a brand maybe some of your kids have used or you've used. This industry was not there 15 years ago. It's all possible by digital manufacturing and 3D printing. Invisalign, a $24 billion company today on NASDAQ. So really created a new industry. So what if you could actually make a better product, simplify supply chains, and do that in a market that is 5 times bigger than the orthodontics market? That's the optics market on the custom eyewear standpoint. So if you can imagine today, every prescription lens starts with a puck that's analog cast, about 100 grams. You machine this puck, you grind this puck, you polish this puck, and you trim this puck to end up with a lens that's 10 grams. 90% of that material goes into the landfill. Why not just print the prescription you need? Better manufacturing process, save inventory, and more sustainable. That's actually what Azul's doing. We are going to revolutionize the optics area and create tremendous value there. And that value is not just relevant for standard prescription lenses, but it actually is even more beneficial for areas like AR and VR, which is our exciting growth area. Thank you. We disrupt these applications and we create significant value for our customers. When we do that, we want to share in that value. We do that by our IP position, multi-tiered. We have our base technology within our systems, we have proprietary materials, formulations, and then process knowledge. We were able as a company to do our seed rounds. That created the base technology, well protected from an IP standpoint, and get us started in the electronic space with DuPont. Our Series A, which we just closed, is going to allow us to scale in the electronic space and then move into the optical area to rapidly scale and set the process as well there.
Thank you.
Then we're on to different markets. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please, Diplo.
So great 3D printing is here. You make a great business case for it. I'm trying to understand what your company's core competence is. Materials you're going to acquire, I presume you're not going to get in the business of material discovery. 3D printers are there. So where do you bring the value add that doesn't exist in the market? You're bringing these technologies together, but what is your core competence?
Our core competence, frankly, is bringing all those together. We have our own technology for the 3D printing itself. We do blend our own materials. We have opportunities to work with companies here in the kingdom like Sabic and other people to actually expand that capability and scale that capability. And then the application knowledge, frankly, that's where we partner with customers like DuPont and many of the other optics customer players to do the application. So it's the print process itself and the materials.
Can I ask, what is the breakthrough that's made this possible now? As you know, this is a 50-year-old technology. It's been on an exponential growth curve. And Invisalign's been around for a decade. Why lenses? Why now?
The key differential is our interface. We're able to continuously build, which allows us to use optical materials that weren't possible more than a decade ago or even the last 3 years. That gives us the ability to do clear lenses that have the right index of refraction to use for optics.
So this is going to be a lights-out manufacturing, just like Invisalign is?
That is the objective, since this is a market that's 5 times bigger than the aligner market.
Lubna?
Your source of revenue is the software, the actual manufacturing, or the equipment. And I want to ask you about your IP as well. But what is your source of revenue?
We have three sources of revenue. The systems themselves, we do operating leases to the customer because we're constantly upgrading the software and the optics in those.
So you sell that to the customer.
We lease that to the customer. We have materials and we have service agreements to upgrade on the software.
And the equipment,
The equipment is leased.
you
We
continue
produce
to
it
own it.
and then we lease it to the customers.
Malik?
Well, I was going to ask if you have IP protection. Can anybody else take this, maybe even improve on it? Can the companies that do glasses just do it themselves?
I like it.
Or do you have a
con-
lock on the IP?
Thank you for the question. The continuous print is our IP that we've been able to use. It has a specific interface. We've patented that globally. And then we're having additional IPs above that, like the material formulation and the application knowledge.
And you program the prescription of the patient into the printer so it comes out already?
Correct.
Do you have customers?
We have DuPont. DuPont
No,
is
do you have lens do you have what do you call it?
We have two
Eyeglass
sports
manufacturers.
manufacturing customers that are in early stage trials with us. They have transacted some money, and then we are working with an AR/VR company for some applications as well.
Because this should be what every lens company, infinite designs, personalized designs.
Yeah. If you go into a lens manufacturing operation, it is crazy inefficient, crazy complex. We're going to change that market.
But the lens are specific vision-wise, so you
Correct.
can't have mass production there. It's going to be
Custom. 3D printing is fantastic at personalized
yeah,
production.
but that's a very small one, no?
It's in the U.S. It's a $12 billion market annually, and globally it's about a $60 billion market.
No, but is it all 3D printed?
No, that's just for the optical lenses.
yes.
Just for the optical lenses.
Do you have one more question? Are you thinking of the next product beyond lenses? Have you thought of other biomedical stents for the heart, cartridge for the knees? Are you thinking of things along those lines beyond lenses?
Yes, so we have in that promising future technology, we've screened our technology. Where are the applications that are most breakthrough for us? There's two areas we're looking at. Clean tech, we're really good at building big membrane filtration that could be used in carbon capture. And then secondly, we have because of our continuous build, we're fantastic with implants that are used that are from the acellular matrix.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. Is it an integrated, complete glasses with the lens and the frame integrated all together?
That is one thing we think will change, if you will, the global south. Our ability to do the lens plus the frame, not the arms, the frame in one particular piece. We've done trials on that. We haven't rolled that out with any customers yet.
Thank you, John. Next, we have Nutrobuy with Maya and Natalie.
Hello everyone, very happy to be here. So we are the founders of Nutropy, a French company developing the next generation of cheeses and dairy products. So we develop a milk protein identical to animal proteins with microorganisms. And our product is a milk replacement for dairy producers. We ambition to position Nutropy as the key B2B global supplier of animal-free dairy. So I'm Nathalie Roland. I have a background in finance, and I'm an alternative protein pioneer. I've been very active in this domain, working on consumer acceptance, communication, regulations, building networks, etc.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Maya Bendafala, and my background is in recombinant proteins. I've in particular have a unique approach on protein complexes, which have applications in cheese functionality. So our team is based in the Paris region in France, and we've built a top team with complementary and pluridisciplinary expertise.
So if we look from a consumer perspective, we have on the market two types of cheeses. Conventional cheeses, we love their taste and texture, but unfortunately, they are not sustainable. And we also have the plant-based cheeses. They are sustainable, but they are not good enough to surpass 1% market penetration. So Nutropy offers the best of these two worlds, taste, texture, nutrition, and sustainability. So if we need to have a good cheeses and dairy product, we need casein, which is a type of milk protein and the key ingredient for the production of good products. And so it means that if we don't have casein, we have no cheese. So we develop a high-value ingredient, milk ingredient, that we put in our plug-and-play milk replacement for the dairy producers. And thanks to our highly functional milk ingredient and hybrid formulation, we will sell our product at price parity at launch.
So how does this work? So step one of our technology is we program the yeast into microfactories that are capable of producing milk ingredients, so caseins and fatty acids, in bioreactors, and then we harvest these ingredients. Step two is that we transform our caseins into highly functional micelles, which then we can, thanks to our scalable microrobotics platform. Then we can combine these highly functional ingredients with other ingredients such as plant-based fats and plant-based proteins, and this turns into our cheesable milk powder solution. This plug-and-play raw material can then be purchased by our future dairy producer clients, who can then incorporate this easily into their current supply chain without needing to change their formulation nor their equipment. So here you can see some cheese formulation prototypes that we've developed. We have been working on a wide range of different cheeses. Wide range on different cheeses. One of the advantages as well of this approach is that they are all lactose and cholesterol free, meaning that NutriP cheeses can fit into a healthy, long life. We continue to work on many different cheese varieties, and we will soon we will have more cheese prototypes in the upcoming months as we scale the production of our milk ingredients.
So we are first targeting the cheese market, which is huge, and we plan on having more than 100 million euros in revenue by 2029, working with dairy and food producers, which are very interested in our particular approach. They are waiting for us to send them samples, and we are building partnership with them, co-development, co-production. In our new domain, we are among the few companies working on the creation of micelles, and we are the only company developing a plug-and-play solution.
Screening and on final product development. And we recently were awarded the iLab Grand Prix Prize by the French Minister of Research and Innovation, which classed us among the top 10 best French tech companies.
So the company has 2 years. We did the first round last year. We are closing our second round to bring our product to industrial scale, and we start the commercialization of our product in 2025, starting with the US market.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Dr. Oz, you have something?
It's fascinating, and it looks like cheese. We didn't taste it. Did it smell like cheese?
I couldn't smell it.
Yeah, I didn't order it.
Cut
His
it.
Excellency tasted.
I tasted it. I met him before, and I'm still here. But no, seriously, it was good.
Good.
It was good.
So what is your hope on a health benefit? I understand the sustainability benefit, but what do you think might be a health benefit for some consumers?
Well, I think the first thing is the fact that it is totally lactose and cholesterol free, and this opens up cheeses to a whole new market that don't have access to these products. They want to eat them, and they cannot for health reasons. They may have a life incident that forces them to stop eating these products, but they love them. Other things that we can imagine as well is working, since we can control every element of the formulation of these cheese, we could add in beneficial probiotics, other use of microbes to create a more functional element, including adding fibers, etc. So it's very controlled.
And in terms of public health, it's also very interesting because it helps fight antibiotic resistance and zoonosis issues.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you been in touch with companies that are marketing products with a high content of cheese and are losing part of their customer base? I mean, think of pizza restaurants. Think of ice cream companies. Are you able to address those people with lactose intolerance with products for like mozzarella cheese and other?
Yes, yeah, we've been in discussion with many different companies in the dairy space, including those who supply cheese to pizzerias all around the world, including those who produce ice cream for the largest brands in the world. And they are definitely interested in this technology.
Yeah, Dr. Mahmoud?
So I'd like you to consider the alternative protein market and value companies did this and came down. And part of the challenge was moving from early adopters to main scale. And there were some barriers to that. One is the label. Are you going to be able to label this as natural or organic or something that tells a mother, I'm going to feed it to my child? Okay? So there's a regulatory question, a labeling question, a consumer acceptance. The second is a technical. Milk, as you know, given your food technology background, is made up of pieces of intact cells. And that includes membranes. And now we understand that the nutrient components of that membrane are not waste product. In fact, brain development is required. So for a child's brain development, you need that cholesterol. You need those membrane components. They're not there in nature by accident. So how do you see positioning this, promoting this, and understanding who the market segment is that's going to be acceptance? Beyond the, I'm an environmentalist. I'm talking mainstream.
And maybe I'll just put my question here exactly. But one additional, people who have allergies or sensitive are very conscious that they have chemical-free products. I noticed you have that process. Is there any chemicals in this? Is it all bio? I mean, I have a daughter who has all these. First thing they look for is bioproduct. Is the whole chain a biochain?
Yes, I can maybe start with the second question. So can it be considered bio or organic? We can feed the microorganisms with organic feedstock. Whether or not that will be considered organic will depend on the organisms who decide that. This is a new technology for now that has yet to be decided. But given that we can choose how the microorganisms are fed with organic feedstock, that is definitely something that could be possible.
Yeah,
No.
maybe about the label and the way we can call this product. I would say that what is great is that we talk about fermentation, and it's something that people are very familiar with. We also talk about yeast, and it's again something that people are very familiar with. So I've been working in this particular domain for several years, and I saw that people are totally fine as long as the communication is good and you use the good words, and especially the one that fermentation are very great.
Thank
So,
you, Natalie. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Shukran,
much.
Mr. Lab, for the invitation.
Next, we have Finance Ops,
It intensive.
Ragras.
Lubna. That's the key one.
Hello. Does this work? Hi guys, my name is Prakash. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Finance Ops. At Finance, is this even more? It is, right? Okay. At Finance Ops, our mission is to build an AI engine for the back office finance function. We're currently serving customers in digital debt collections. We have a number of customers that we're using our AI agents for collecting everything from, rent collections, debt collections, even servicing mortgages. We launched the product 3 months ago. We were building this for about a year now. And just last month, we collected over $1 million of bad debt. It cost us around $700 to collect this. And we're seeing a lot of progress and a lot of traction already in the market, being this early. Oh, that's my screen. That's my introductory screen. So before we get any deeper, I want to quickly talk about the future of AI in finance and how we have the opportunity to spearhead this. I know I have 7 minutes left. As a former finance professional, I had the opportunity to see how many routine tasks that we take in a day that consume a majority of our time. What AI is going to do is basically replace the many decisions that we make that are typically useless and allow us to make maybe 3 or 4 decisions that really have more impact in the business. We have more time now to think and figure out ideas, solve more problems, and be more resourceful for the business. Beyond collections, we think there's a huge opportunity for us to put this intelligence engine into other aspects of finance. There's risk management, there's autonomous accounting. The entire back office finance function could be fully automated with AI. And we think we have a fairly intelligent layer that could be retrofitted to serve these different sectors. So the problem that we're trying to solve today is this. We've all heard today or throughout this conference about the post-COVID world. And as a result of this post-COVID world, we've seen over $4 trillion worth of consumer debt in the US. If you add mortgages, it's over $17 trillion. So the likelihood these lenders, as we get deeper and deeper into this recession, have the chance of recovering this debt, becomes significantly less and less. There's over $600 billion worth of delinquent loans in the US. There's over 6,000 traditional debt collection agencies that are operating for a piece of a $19.5 billion just in the US. So there's a massive opportunity in the US. It's a very fragmented market, and it's a great place to be disruptive in. Our solution's very simple. We are integrated directly with our accounting systems of the companies that we work with. So we pull data in real time from the ERP solutions, and we're able to build a risk score for each of the customers that we interact with. We have two modes, an autopilot mode and a copilot mode. The purpose of the autopilot mode is to reduce the volumes that end up going to the in-house collection teams. With the copilot mode, we have a lot of cool functions that basically eliminate the need for a collection agent to study and account for 10, 15 minutes. Instead, with the click of a button, within 3 steps, they should be able to get all that intelligence done for them through the intelligence system. We have other functions as well. The coolest function that we worked on that we just recently released is we have live scripts. So as I'm having a conversation with you and I'm trying to collect from you, we have a script that adapts in real time based on the conversation that we're having. So in real time, as we're having a conversation, and if you have a personal guarantee on a loan, we're able to, are we good for time? Yeah. We're able to, adapt the script and make sure that, we tell you everything that you need to know about the customer so that you don't have to, you never miss a beat. Every collection agent could operate at the highest level with the intelligence tool that we have. So that's my presentation. I try to run through this quickly as possible.
Thank you.
So we have 4 minutes.
Thank you.
So just a simple question, maybe I missed something. Is this to help companies that are selling do a credit check on the customer before selling, or is this only when there are non-paying customers to help with the collection?
Yeah, so right now it's non-paying, so as soon as a customer becomes late on a payment, we can autonomously start interacting with their customers. It's a very expensive thing to do. Think about it this way. There's dental bills and medical bills that are $150 past due after insurance deducts their deductible. For you to have an actual person having a call and trying to chase these customers, it's not worth it. So with these low balance accounts, there's millions of them that our tool could be used to collect it. We collected over $1 million worth of bad debt. It only cost us $700 to do it, so the upside is massive. With the $1 million that we collected, our competitors are charging and earning up to $300,000 on that. So technically, we could still earn that $300,000, but our cost is much less and significantly less than our competitors.
So how do you physically collect the money?
We don't physically collect it. We use digital channels, send out payment links. We use digital channels to collect. So the way it works is this, right?
You work with whom? With the bank to have the transfers? Is that?
Yeah, so we use digital channels to collect. So if a bank has a credit card loan that's past due, we send out SMSs, emails, and phone calls automatically with our bots to get them to pay it. And then we have different strategies. We understand today everyone's facing a trouble. We have a very empathetic approach to collections. Collections, a lot of people think is a very nasty business to be in, but we're trying to get rid of that nastiness and be more empathetic. Be lenient with people, allow them to have more time to pay back. And we see there's a positive to this as well.
So what's your competitive edge against somebody who wants to do the same thing?
Yeah, I think you're right. There's a lot of companies right now that we're competing against. The biggest ones are High Radius and TrueAccord. High Radius is selling productivity software. TrueAccord is selling a call center solution for people to outsource their collections to. For us, we're fully digitalized. We have no live agents. We're using bots to do this exact same thing these guys are doing with live people. So we're still, we're 8-9 months ahead of anybody that wants to enter the race in this collection world. Even if they want to run something with ChatGPT and try to do this, they're still 8 months away.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Insight session stands as a beacon of the transformative synergy of innovation, unwavering government support, and growing investor interest, shaping the future of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabian Vision 2030 is more than a national blueprint. It's a global magnet, drawing intellect, investment from around the world, making on-site of the future where innovation, science, and technology are the architects of the transformation. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and special thanks for Your Excellency Khalid Al-Falih for coming and for your support throughout the process. Thanks extend to your Lubna and Dr. Mahmoud, Dr. Peter, and Dr. Az for
our pleasure.
The insightful discussion we had today.
Thanks for leading it.
Thank you.
Thank you.